Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video, and the penultimate unit out of the 4 EZAs, the Fizz Omega Shenron, actually picked up quite a bit of flack when he got his initial EZA on JP by a lot of global players saying, he's too similar to Cooler. I mean, they were very similar units even prior to both their EZAs, and one thing that doesn't make sense to me is, yes, they are very similar, but you've basically got EZA Fizz Final Form Cooler, who's a ridiculously good EZA, especially at level 10 links, which again, I'm working on this guy as well, only recently though. But you've basically got EZA Fizz Final Form Cooler on all the categories Cooler doesn't go on. So how can that be a bad thing? Literally makes no sense. Shadow Dragons finally has a 170 lead now because of his EZA as well, so I can finally do that Sin or Shin Shenron, the tech sidebound unit ones showcase. But this is the team we got them on. I am bringing him currently because I don't want to, I'm going to do the Shin video soon. So I've bought this guy who I haven't done his EZA because he's just terrible. Mainly just to get Omega Shenron's links off. And of course we've got the LR Shadow Dragons for that support, and any LRSSJ4s for the other rotation. But do let me know what you think of him down in the comments. Is he too similar to Cooler? Is that a problem? Personally, I don't think so, because they're both sick units. But let me know what you think. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe as well if you are new. And let's see what Omega Shenron can do. Okay, so here we go. I do have the LR Boo tanks as our secondary lead, because of course Omega Shenron does go on power absorption as well. The reason why I brought him, even though he doesn't go on Omega Shenron's category lead, of course, he's nowhere near Shadow Dragon Saga, is because I couldn't find a friend EZA Omega. So it was the best we would have to do in a short amount of time. We are getting the LR Shadow Dragons GT boss support right now, which is the attack and defense plus 30%. And we also have a few links off like Brutal Beatdown, Fear and Faith, GT, and Shadow Dragons. Of course, one of the most crucial links being big bad bosses, which we need to lose HP for. This is one of the reasons why I always say a lot of extreme units you probably want to get level 10 so you can remove the HP condition so you always have it active. But even without it, and yes, with the support, we're on a 313k attack stat and 155k defense. So turn 1 without the support, you're still looking at like 270, 280k attack and like 110, 120k defense, which is not bad for turn 1. So we'll give him these, and after picking up some orbs, he is on a 470k attack stat, 155k defense. Of course, we do need to get the Fizz partway easy aid Sin Shenron on rotation with him. So turn 1, 3.3, again that is with support, so it'll be just under 3 million on like 2.8, 2.9 mil. Of course, just like the Cooler, he does build up his attack and defense for every attack performed. Not super, attacked. And getting additional supers is also very handy as well, as he got over to way over a 3 mil attack stat on the additional super. So when he's fully brought up is really where we're going to kind of, make a judgment on him, which, considering how good EZA Final Form Cooler is, I don't doubt that this guy is going to be ridiculous, especially when linked up properly with that big bad bosses link indeed active. Completely forgot about their animation, but we can let that play through, that's fine. As I said before, I don't really get the problem that a lot of global players had when his EZA came out initially on JP of he's similar to Cooler. Him and Cooler have always been the same, or very similar in terms of how they're built. As I said, I don't really personally see the issue, because you've basically got EZA Final Form Cooler, who again, his EZA is very good. You've basically got him on the categories that Final Form Cooler doesn't go on, which can only be a good thing to me. But still, that's just me, but I digress. After EZAing, as I said, he is now a full 170 lead for Shadow Dragon Saga, which is huge, because now Shadow Dragons does have a 170 lead. It's a shame GT Bosses hasn't nearly reached the potential it possibly could with a 170 lead. An LR Android Super 17, being a little bit wonky. We still probably need a transforming Sin or Shin into a Mega, which would be dope. A dual unit of fusing androids into Super 17, a transforming baby. As of right now, that category is a little bit meh. And even though there's actually a category mission on one of the new category mission for either GT Goku event or Vegeta event. I think it's Vegeta event, I can't remember. And if you're lacking a few of the better units for that category team, you're going to be struggling because you don't really have a choice apart from a 150 lead. So that one's definitely going to be tough. He's also a Fizz type lead, giving key plus 3, HP and attack and defense plus 100%. And this is a little bit more like it. We still don't have the big bad bosses link active, but that's fine. So we got the support and majority of our links active, apart from big bad bosses and shocking speed. Shocking speed is a key link, so it doesn't really matter right now. We've also attacked twice, so we still need to attack 5 more times. This is up to 70%, which is 7 turns. We are up to, or not 7 turns, but 7 attacks, sorry. So with all them links and attacking twice, we're already up to a 422k attack set, which again is with support, so it'll be just under 400k, which is still good, and 186k defense, which, I mean, without the support, you're probably looking at like 140, 150k defense, which is not bad considering he isn't fully built up yet. 633k attack stat as well. I am going to have to be careful with that Fizz Sin, otherwise he's going to take so much damage. But yeah, on super he does raise defense for 1 turn as well, which is quite nice, give him some extra bit of bulk. We're already up to a 4.4 mil attack stat, so that's 3 supers down, or 3 attacks down, 4 more to go. Can we get an additional? Oh no, because Goku's dead. Never mind. But the defense does help for a little bit of extra bulk, which is very handy in harder events, you know, like Goku events, Super Battle Road. I don't know if he'll be able to handle Red Zone. I don't think he will, considering he doesn't have guard, damage reduction, you know, or just ridiculous amounts of defense, and doesn't stack. Yeah, he's probably not going to be the one when it comes to Red Zone, but which is okay. Not every single unit has to be great in Red Zone, and not every single unit has to be a god in every single event out. So do remember that. Also, all enemies get attack and defense minus 20%, which you're probably not going to really notice considering how hard and how good defensively enemies are nowadays in Dokkan, but again, it's better than not having it, I guess, but you're probably not going to notice it. He does get attack and defense plus 150 at the start of turn, gets an additional attack and defense plus 10% with each attack performed, up to 70%, which we're currently on 3 attacks performed, and also launches an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack, which is obviously great because that helps him build up his passive a lot quicker. Also combined with the fact you may have dupes in him, which also helps him get his passive off a bit quicker, and also potentially you could end up super attacking 3 times ideally in a turn. The initial, the built-in additional, which has a medium chance of becoming a super attack, and also the dupe system additional, which, as I said, altogether helps you build up your passive quicker. Not to mention as well, in harder event, if you can get the 3 supers off, you can raise your defense by 30% 3 times in 1 turn, which of course helps him being a little bit extra defensive. So right now, of course, we have attacked 3 times in total. We're on a 408k attack stat and 180k defense. Of course, this is now without any support. And with some orbs, a 612k attack stat. So without support, that's still looking pretty impressive. Still pretty impressive considering he still needs to attack 4 more times to be up and ready to go. 4.3 mil, which is pretty good. Again, we do have that additional attack built in and a medium chance of becoming a super attack, which didn't happen. Can we get the dupe system attack come off? No. So that's an extra 2 attacks. So now we're 5 down. 2 more attacks and he is fully built up. We also still need to lose a bit more HP. Having Bootanks is not the best of that, with him recovering HP. But that super is actually quite handy, because as I said, we do need to lose some HP and get that big bad bosses link active. So, you know, getting this guy to level 10 links, probably a very good idea. I'd probably recommend it. If you have a space freed up on your link leveling team, or, you know, maybe, you know, you're deciding who to link level next, a Mega Shenron is probably a good shout, considering, as I said, extreme units that have big bad bosses is such a good link because of the attack and defense plus 25%, and the extra defense wouldn't go amiss with him, especially without having damage reduction or guard or dodge or anything. Losing the HP at 80% or less restriction, so handy. So again, if you have a space freed up, or maybe you're thinking about who to link level next, this guy's EZA or him after EZAing, definitely a shout, so you can always have that attack and defense plus 25% active, because it will be handy. But you know, this guy currently doesn't have a 200% lead. I mean, to be fair, it would actually be pretty insane with one. You know, as I said, GT bosses as a category goes on, it really does need some help. So I don't know, maybe in future when we do eventually get a transforming Sin or Shin into a Mega, or you know, another Super 17, but more likely, because that's been more recent out of them, a transforming Baby, GT bosses could be in there as a 170 lead, which would be really nice, because that category does need to pick me up. And maybe there'll be a 200% lead that includes GT bosses where this guy can shine. I don't know. All I know is GT bosses really does need some help. So 5 attacks down, we have a 549k attack stat and 254k defense. So that's still needing to do 2 more attacks, which unfortunately we're not going to get off now because Goku's almost dead. But that's going to be 6 deep after this turn. But 5 attacks down and we already have over 200k defense, and he's almost a 6 million attack stat. And he's only now 6 attacks down, which is pretty ridiculous. So offensively, he's looking fantastic. Defensively, he's looking very good, considering he doesn't have any extra attributes defensively, as I already mentioned, like guard or damage reduction or anything. He's looking good. A very nice, well-rounded EZA. And as I said, it's basically like having EZA final form cooler, which that super attack's handy. But I'm pretty sure we've got big bad bosses active right now, hence why our stats are looking that nice. But if we didn't, we now definitely have it active. But, you know, like I said, it's like having EZA Final Form Cooler on all the categories that EZA Final Form Cooler doesn't go on, which EZA Final Form Cooler is a very good unit. So having him, or having Shenron basically be like him on all the categories Cooler doesn't go on, is a pretty good thing in my opinion. A pretty good thing indeed. And with considering how good the Tech Shin Shenron is, that is a sideband unit currently on the SSJ4 banner, and how well he links with him. By the way, this Omega Shenron shares 7 links with that Shin Shenron unit. With how well he links with him and how good that Shenron unit is as a sideband unit, it's going to be a pretty good rotation to run, especially when this Omega is fully built up after pulling off those 7 attacks. And what's perfect is we should have the Shadow Dragons on rotation as soon as we hit our 7th attack off, which is going to be pretty nice if I do say so myself. Yeah, we do. And we definitely have yeah, big bad bosses active, so we do have that attack and defense plus 25%. We are 6 attacks down, and with support we're on a 656k attack stat and a 300k defense, which is very good. And now we're up to almost a mil on attack, and we're about to hit our 7th attack, which means he is now going to be fully built up, also with support. And we're looking at 6.9 mil with support. 6.9 million with support. Are we going to get an additional? We are. 7.3 mil fully built up with support. 7.3 million on super with support, which is honestly ridiculous. And on top of the fact he's going to have like 300k defense fully built up, and then raising his defense for the turn as well, means defensively he's looking pretty good. It means he's going to be able to tank, you know, basic attacks for double digits. Super attacks will do some decent amount of damage, but he definitely won't get you killed, you know, in like a harder event, like, you know, latter stages of GT Goku event, Vegeta event, ESBR. He'll probably take like 200k, which is obviously quite a bit, but as I said, he won't get you killed. And guaranteed you're going to be taking double digits on basics, which of course is exactly what you want to see. But yeah, man, I just couldn't understand. I just can't understand the qualms. I mean, it was mainly global players when he came out in JP, but yeah, I don't get it. How is having EZA basically a unit that is very similar to EZA Final Form Cooler with Omega Shenron? How is having that on categories that cooler doesn't go on? How is that a bad thing? How is that a bad thing? I don't get it. So yeah. Fully built up, no support, you're looking at 622k attack stat, 288k defense. Of course, raises defense on super by 30%. It's going to have over 300k defense, probably like 400k defense at that point. Maybe a little bit more, give or take. And yeah, as I said, you'll be taking double digits on basics. We're up to just under a mil. So we're going to get a Dokkan attack off, which is kind of annoying because then we can't see the actual numbers for the super. So if I had to guess, considering we're on 7.3 mil with the support, I'm not going to bother with the Dokkan attack. Without it, which is attack and defense plus 30%, you're probably looking at 6.9, literally just shy of 7 mil, or literally just over 7 mil by a tiny bit, which is actually pretty ridiculous considering that is insane in itself. I mean, we got an additional, which is 6.5, so okay, it was a little bit less than I thought. So without the support, we're on a 6.5 million attack stat. And that's what I was just about to mention. Because they built an additional with medium chance of becoming a super, and a lot of people having dupes in him because he's such an old unit, means you're going to be doing fully built up with a 6.5 million attack stat. You're going to be doing 6.5 million attack stat, a 6.5 million attack stat super, 2 potentially or ideally 3 times in one turn, and doing that amounts of combined damage while raising your defense. If you get any additionals off, not once, sometimes twice, and ideally 3 times. he's a good unit. It's just a shame he doesn't go on too many categories. You know, Shadow Dragons finally has a 170, which is great. Full power, Inhuman Deeds, Power Absorption, GT bosses, which really needs to pick me up. Those are the two main categories he's going to shine. Shadow Dragons and GT bosses. But GT bosses, as I said, really does need to pick me up because right now it's just kind of a mess and doesn't really have a lot going through it. And he also goes on Battle of Fate. But at least now Shadow Dragons has a 170 where this guy can actually shine. Let me know what you think of it down in the comments. I'll see you next video, guys, and push.